So welcome to this iconic art trail. Now the art trail not only features iconic items, and there's 11 of them across London, but it also takes you en route of iconic places in London to see. And just to give you an idea of how big these things are, here are Rhonda and Matt from Canada, who have come over to join me whilst filming, and they're all part of the London Visited family. Welcome guys, great to have you here. Right, have a look at this teapot. So beautifully decorated, and what we're going to show you for each of these different things on the art trail is not only the surroundings and the item, but also to tell you, well, we'll show you some of the more details about how this art thing was put together. Plus, there's a QR code which you can scan on the video with your phone so you can get more details as well, just like this. Now the fantastic thing about scanning the QR code is it links to AR and gives you, well, some of the pictures and some of the things that are from around this area. So here we're right by Victoria Station on Lower Grosvenor Square, right in the middle of a traffic island. Now you might recognise those shell houses because we featured on some of our oddities before here on London Visited. But as you can see, this is a busy walkway through, and it's the first of our 11 items. Next, for a little walk down the road, and we're here at Westminster Cathedral, not Westminster Abbey, and we've done a pro video on this previously. And we're here for our next iconic London item, which of course is the telephone box, but this is slightly decorated differently to normal. So I suppose the question is, what do you think the other 9 iconic items are going to be before we get to the end of our trail? Do let us know in the comments down below, and then see if you're right before the end of it. So 9 more to come. So the art trail is in operation until August. So if you're breaking up for school holidays and you fancy doing it, it's an amazing way to see London because it takes you through some of the iconic places in London on foot. But don't be fooled, it's a good couple of hours walk, but you certainly get to see the sights of London. And the other fantastic thing I love about this is if you tag your pictures in with the London Historic Quarter, and you'll see the details on all of the tags, you've got a chance to win an afternoon tea at the Conrad London. But anyway, let's go back to the fantastic sights and just look at this Westminster Cathedral. So now we go for a quick march from Victoria all the way to the Wellington Barracks, and we're here at the Army Museum. And the great thing about this is the next one on our art trail is a soldier, of course, of iconic London. And here at Wellington Barracks, we've been here before around the scenes, seeing them all get ready for the changing of the guard. Now the fantastic thing about this whole art trail is it's completely free, and actually if you fancy doing different bits of it, dipping in, dipping out whilst you're on your stays here in London, then you can download a map online and then you can just sort of tick them off as you go along and then go and see them all. By way of a bonus, they've added another sculpture here, and it's a giant Corgi. And just look how big this is. See, being very, very well behaved. But can you imagine a Corgi that size? 1, you'd probably have no arms left after taking it for a walk and pulling you. And 2, I wonder if you've got dog poo bags that would be able to pick up the mess that this thing would leave behind. Wow! Anyway, one very well behaved dog here at the Wellington Barracks, as you would expect. Right, let's go on to our next one. And it's right by here. Yes, we're at Buckingham Palace, and just look at those beautiful flowers in the raised flower beds, all being tended and looked after right in front of Buckingham Palace. So yeah, our next one is here, and it is royalty themed. And there you go, just to prove that Rhonda and Matt were from Canada, there we go, nice Canadian flag at the front. And funnily enough, here we're filming from outside of the Canada gates. So unfortunately, if you leave things laying around, it is going to be subject to damage, and some, yes, clever person here has decided to knock the orb and the cross on top of this crown just to make it skew-whiff. But actually the crown itself is fantastic, so it's a real shame, but another great art sculpture. So this one is tucked away just in St James's Park, which is underneath Buckingham Palace, as you can see from this shot. Now with the QR codes, I found it a bit hit and miss when out and about because it really did depend on the phone signal. Now it's one of the things that you can use from the comfort of your home, and the great thing is it brings up the history of the area or the place that you're in, so in this case Buckingham Palace. Then you touch the button AR Experience and it may give you a bit more, but once again it does depend very much on the signal you get on your phone. Now here we have another giant Corgi, which is probably why he's been cordoned off and we can't get any closer. Probably running riot, especially with that coat on. But anyway, on this one, you've got a watch, and it's a fob watch, which you would keep in your waistcoat. Yeah, very British and very iconic. So here we're opposite Westminster Abbey with this one, and just around the corner outside the Supreme Court you have a red postbox. Well, it's not red, all sorts of different colours, but you know what they like when they look red, but someone's done it all up. And this is right overlooking Parliament Square. The Supreme Court is just one of those buildings on the north side of Parliament Square that many people don't notice because they're busy looking on the south side where you've got the Palace of Westminster, and then over there as well where you've got Westminster Abbey. But the details on this building are absolutely incredible. Now if you're thinking, Steve, but you're not giving us enough time to read the labels, don't forget, hit that pause button, because if you hit that pause button, it gives you plenty of time to read it. But also don't forget that QR code for a bit more history of this area. So you can see what I mean. It really is taking in the iconic places and parts of London, all whilst discovering art. And now we go here, and this is Victoria Tower Gardens. And whoever's left these giant welly boots behind, I'd hate to think what the size of their gloves are. Wow! So if you're looking at the patterns and thinking, I wonder what that's meant to represent. Well, at first when I looked at it, I thought, I wondered if it was countries, you know, being outside the Houses of Parliament and bringing different countries together, etc. But then I read the details by the side, and apparently they represent different silhouettes of mountains. See, it all makes sense. Well, it certainly does once you read these details here. So far we've seen a number of different iconic pieces, and this is the map that you can download online to find it. So you'll find that you start at number 1, which is over at Victoria, which is near the bottom left hand corner, and it finishes with an iconic bus at number 11 up in the top right hand corner. And as you can see, it really does take you through the iconic places of London, and we've still got to walk up Whitehall. We've also got Trafalgar Square to hit, round by the Strand, and also some of the beautiful embankment gardens right by the side of the north bank of the Thames, before finishing up by Somerset House for that iconic double-decker bus. And I love the way that the maps put all the different food places you could eat en route. So now we're at Trafalgar Square, and we're at Trafalgar Square for, well, probably very small cats for if they wanted a taxi ride. Yes, we've got the iconic black cab, all done in different colours. Here, right by the King Charles I statue, which is at Trafalgar Square. I love the fact that at one point they put you right in the middle of a roundabout by Trafalgar Square where it's really busy with the traffic, and in the next one you go to here, Whitehall Gardens, for a nice quiet garden. By the way, if you're loving the video, go on, give us a thumbs up, will you? And if you haven't subscribed and you love London, you need to hit that button and also the notification. Right, something else that's iconic is this top hat. Once again, like the wellies, if someone's wearing this top hat, I want to meet, well no, I don't want to meet them actually, I want to run in the opposite direction. And I've got to say, I'm just loving the design. So I think we're really, really lucky in London that they set up so many of these different art trails for people to enjoy. Do you remember the Morph one from last year? Wow, did that get some views and get some comments. Right, here we go. Let's go to the Embankment Gardens and let's go for something else that's iconic. It's a teacup, and us Brits love a cup of tea. There you go, and they go Rhonda and Matt going having a look at the statues, but that gives you an idea of how big this teacup is. And I wonder if it represents how much tea the average Brit drinks in a year. I know it's lots. Okay, so we go from our penultimate one, the teacup, to this over by Somerset House. It's the iconic double-decker bus, and it's great to see that they've got the red colours in it, even though it's splodged with black and could look quite dirty. But anyway, at least they've got that one over here, and this unfortunately marks the end of the art trail. So whilst we wrap up this art trail, what was your favourite iconic London item? Do let us know in the comments down below. And if you were coming to London this summer, what would you hope to see as an art trail set up for you to follow around? Also let us know in the comments down below. So I hope you really enjoyed this art trail and can see so many of the different iconic places to see in London whilst looking at some of the iconic London items. And a big thank you to Matt and Rhonda who came over from Canada to join us in the making of this video. So thanks very much guys, and a big thumbs up from them at the end.